Hello, this is Patrick from XPression. I'd like to show you a new feature in XPression Clips 6.7 and higher, the ability to save a still from an existing video in your clip browser back to the clip browser. Right now I'm working in XPression Clips and I have two versions of the same video. The difference between the two of them, you can see right here in the format, one is recorded at 2997i and one is recorded at 2997p. That's basically field-based recording and frame-based recording. If I go ahead and right-click on my field-based recording and I choose Edit, I'm going to scroll down in my animation because I'm looking for a frame here that I want to have. Maybe I want to put, let's go to frame 27. There we go. I want to have a still image someplace. Down in the bottom left corner, there's a button labeled Export. I could export it as a video to my desktop. I could record it as a still image to my desktop. Maybe I want to output that. I can record it back into the still store, and I also have interlace settings. I have field-based line interpolated, field-based line doubled, and frame-based. So I'm going to do a frame-based first. I'm going to come back. I'm going to click on Still to Clip Store, and the Save dialog for Send to Clip Store will come up. I'm going to add a word here to the back of it. I'm going to type in the word frame so that I know this was frame-based, because I want you to take a look at this. 1 is that. I'm going to put it into my database for news. You can see I can predetermine the recall IDs and the projects. I'm going to click Transfer Clip, and you'll see that it pops right in. I'm going to click Close. Now, next thing I want to do is I'm going to go back to the interlace settings. I'm going to set it to line doubled. I'm going to choose Still to Clip Store. The dialog pops up, and this is a doubled. And I'm going to reassign this again. You don't have to assign a clip ID or recall ID. I just am, and you don't have to assign it to a project. I just like to get it all done while I'm working. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to change and export interlace to interpolated. I'm going to save my still to clip store, and I'm going to type in the word interp. And I'm going to give it the recall ID of 1213, and I'm going to assign it to news. Now, while I'm here, I'm going to close this. I'm going to show you the differences between the different versions here. And I've got a virtual frame buffer so you can see it. Now, this was a field-based recording, and I made a frame-based still image out of it. And what you'll notice when you do that, if I call this image up here for you, you can see that I'm basically getting what almost looks like a ghost, and it's kind of blurry and it looks like double printed. And what you're basically seeing is it's field 1 and field 2 showing up at the same time. There's no de-interlacing being done. If this was playing normally, this would be the progressive math that you would see. Again, this rotates counterclockwise, or clockwise, I should say. Make this a little bigger. You can see the fields of video, the interlacing going on here. This is where the video is heading. This is where it's come from, and it's half a frame late. Now, I'm going to show you this as a difference. Let me scale this back. I'm going to choose that doubled version, and what they're basically doing is line doubling. It's just mathematical tricks that we do in graphic systems all over the place, in video processing, where we look at the video and we find the lines and we double them up and we mathematically make it look pretty. Interpolation will do basically the same thing. What this is, again, it's mathematically correcting what you see on screen to try and compensate for the fact that field 1 and field 2 may not be looking at exactly the right place. So that's what happens when I do a field-based recording and I look at it either a frame or field-based processing. Now, it seems kind of silly, but I'm going to go back and do this again. I've got the same recording, but I've got it as a frame-based or progressive. So I'm going to put it back on the same frame, which was 27. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do another export, and I'm going to change my interlace settings to frame. I'm going to still to clip store, and I'm going to put the word frame here, and I'm going to make this 2121, 1221. I'm going to put it into news, transfer the clip, I'm going to close it. I'm going to change my interlace settings to line doubled, and I'm going to choose export, still to clip store, and I'm going to put the word doubled here, 1222, and I'm going to put it to the project news, and I'm going to do a transfer of the clip. I'm going to close it, and I'm going to change my interlace settings one more time to interpolated, and I'm going to save my still to clip store, and I'm going to put interp on the back end, 1223, and this is again news. I'm going to transfer the clip. I'm going to say close, save it. Now, remember when I showed you the frame-based version before it was kind of smeared? The interlacing was causing an issue. You can see now that I've got this here, let me hold it steady, you can see that it's much cleaner. I don't have that same problem because this is a frame-based recording and a frame-based still. When I take the interlaced and line doubled version and put that in, you can see it's still pretty good because it was a frame-based recording, but you'll also notice because it was moving, I am getting some aliasing on the edges, and if I go to the interpolated version, you can see that that's still, kind of edgy, but because this was a frame-based video and it's frame-based recording, it's still going to be clean. Field-based recording, it's going to be pretty good. Again, it's the exact opposite of what I had from when I did the field-based recording, and field-based looked good. So again, if I come back here, this is field-based recording and a field-based still, it looks clean. If I do the frame-based capture from a field-based recording, it looks sloppy, but if I do the frame-based of a frame-based recording, it looks clean. So it's a combination of what you've captured and what the source material is. That's what's important. You kind of got to make sure that they match. And when you go into Clip Store and you choose that interpolation setting, or the interlace setting, it will stay whatever you've left it at, so it knows every time you go back in, it'll be where you left it. You've seen me go through it to change it just so that I could show it to you, but that's a setting that will stay with your system. Now, before I forget, you also have the opportunity to just export that still to your desktop. You can see that I have a bunch of different choices here. I'm going to put it to my desktop. My file type can be Targa, it can be an RLE compressed Targa, a PNG, or a JPEG. Just choosing the file format, it takes the file name itself and it will just click and save. So that's available to me on my desktop. So that's a great way to get a still image out of it. And also, don't forget, if I need to export the video, if I choose export to video, the typical export menu comes up and all the codecs that are currently installed on the computer that you're currently working on will appear. So these are the different AVIs on my computer. If I choose an MOV, these are the different codecs that I have available there. Again, I have a lot of different things going on my particular computer. But that would allow you to export that as a video. And again, I could also push it right back into Clip Store for some reason if I wanted to do it. And I could also just put it to a folder on my desktop. And I can also, again, don't forget, if I have transition logic built in, it will run the out transition at the back end of that video that you're exporting.